Hello everyone, welcome back. Welcome back to the development of this Webpart. Just a quick introduction. I'm a SharePoint developer, been developing for 18 years. If this is helpful to you, please like and subscribe, put the notification bell so you know the when I go and start live feeds. We do have a chat available if you have any questions or you have anything that you want to discuss. I can certainly try to assist in any way that I can. But without further delays, let's go ahead and get started. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and start my web part. I had to restart my computer. I had to do some updates. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that running. Where we left off the last time, we were actually able to add topics. Just to give a quick introduction of what we're building a frequently asked questions web part. And so it's going to have a series of topics. We're going to limit it to 6, similar to what you see here. And then we're going to basically have the ability to see the questions below it. So that's kind of what we're going to be building. And so it's just going to take a little bit of a process, obviously, to do that. And the way that I was contemplating doing this was the web part is going to run on the page, and on the pane is where we're going to store the topics that web part is going to display. So let me make sure so that being said, that's essentially what we're going to do. We're going to, in this video or this stream, we're going to go ahead and start after where we left off, which is the addition of the topics. Let me check if the web part is started. Looks like it's almost there. Shouldn't be too long while the web part development process starts, so that we can continue on with what we were working on. Just bear with me a moment. Okay, no errors found. Good, we're good to go. So we can go ahead and take a look at our web part. Okay, here's our web part, and when we click on edit, we can now see our topics. So we added a general, SPFx, and a React topic. The last thing that I had discussed was adding a way of utilizing something a bit different. Utilizing the last time we had a discussion, let me go ahead and start over. I'm gonna start over because I wasn't recording, and I'm gonna use these videos to actually publish them on my YouTube channel. I do stream live on both YouTube and Twitch, and what we're doing on this video is we last left off on being able to add topics. The concept is we're going to be creating a web part that allows us to put topics at the top that the user can click on, and subsequently see questions below that. So that's the goal, right? That's our ultimate goal from this web part. And where we left off last time is we had a form that we created for the topics where the user can come in and submit a topic. So let's go back to our web part. We had add a topic, and we were able to add topics here, and then we were able to see our topics here from a selection. One of the things that I had set up, or I thought about setting up, was creating a pill UI, something like this. And so whenever the user clicks on it, it'll have a checkbox on the right hand side. So I think that that's something that we can go ahead and create now as part of this process. So let's go ahead and get that started. All right, so let me bring up my notes real quick. So the pill we're going to create is something like this. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with that. So in our FAQ web part, that's weird. Why does it look like that? Oh, because I had this. Okay, no worries. All right, so so in our FAQ web part, inside of our components, we're gonna create a new folder, and let's call it selector, or let's just call it pill. Let's just call it, yeah, the pill component. And we're gonna create a new file there. We're gonna call it pill.tsx. Oops, not tzx. Let's rename that. Pill.tsx, and this is gonna be a functional component, similar to how we've been doing thus far. And this is going to return a React functional component. Okay, and so that functional component is going to return a pill, basically something that looks kind of like a button, but with, you know, rounded borders. So that's how this would work. Now this is going to return a div, and the div is going to have a label on it. So this is what's going to be displayed, obviously, from, you know, when we show this pill. So let's create the type for the pill props. And so we're going to have a label that is going to be string. And we're going to create this to use the pill props. Okay, so it's going to have a label. We generally want to have an ID to it so that we can have an identifier for that. The ID is going to be good because we can leverage this ID so that we can use the ID of the topic and store it in our settings on the right hand side. So we're going to have an ID, we're going to have a label, and then we're going to have an is selected, which is going to be a Boolean field to let us know whether that has been selected or not. Remember, it had a little bit of like a check to the right of it. So, and then excuse me, on select is going to have a function that's going to be it's going to be a function that's going to pass that ID to an outside, like the parent component. So the parent's going to pass this function, and that function is going to receive it's going to receive the value. Okay, and in our case the ID, because we want to, the parent topic is going to have an ID, and the child questions are going to have that as a parent associated to it. So on selected, this is going to pass the ID of the item, and it doesn't return anything. It's just going to be setting something for us. All right, so we have our label, and then if the pill is selected, then what we would have is a selected check that's going to be visible. So if it is selected, I'm sorry, let's go ahead and pass our props here first, so that way we can have some intelligence. So label is selected, and what else? Let me close this. On selected, on select. All right, so we have our props there. If it is selected, then what we want to show is a div that is going to just show a checkbox. And I think there's a, let's see, how do you create a check? Create a check in VS Code. Control Shift. What? Using? No. create a check character in VS Code. Yep, this is what we're looking for. So Windows key and period. Okay, so let's go back. I'm gonna do Windows key period. And do we have a check mark? Yep. Something like this. You can use that. So if it is selected, we'll have a check mark. Not sure. Oh, that's not what I'm looking for. Maybe we can do this. Copy this. There we go. That looks a little bit more, gonna look a little bit nicer, so we can get something like this on there. All right. And so let's also create a file for our styles. I am not a style guru by any extent of the imagination. pill.module.scss. So I am basically I usually use AI to help me, but you have to be very specific with AI. So let's give it a shot and see what it does for me. Create the styles for the pill component, and our divs are gonna have a style. So here, let's create style, not style, I'm sorry, class name. We're gonna put a, that way AI kind of knows what we're trying to do. Styles dot selector or styles dot pill. Okay. And then on the check mark, we'll do class name. Oh, I have a visitor, guys, or ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if you can meet her. Okay. Can you see her? This is Lady. Say hi, Lady. You wanted to come and visit? Say hello. She was trying to get my attention, but we got a lot of work to do ahead of us. So say bye, Lady. Say bye-bye. All right. Now that she's gonna go and play, you can go ahead and continue. All right. So going back to what I was saying, we're gonna create a styles dot select. Let's call it selected check. And here we're gonna import and this is gonna be it's going to be pill.module.scss, and we're gonna import it as styles. Create the styles for the pill component. It should have a rounded pill effect to this, and when selected, it should show the check mark to the right. And usually you can actually take a picture of what you're trying to get it to do, so that way it can understand you. Similar to the image provided. May help if I spell correctly. Similar to the image provided. All right, so we're gonna save this, and we have our pill SCSS file already created. And let's see what it does for us. I have it on ask. You can set this to agent mode. And so the only thing that I will suggest that we do is tell it to use the styles. There's a styles. I think it's this one. No. Colors, theme. There we go. I think it's this one. I think you can provide it a URL too. Use the colors from these themes in SharePoint. All right, so this is gonna help me create the style. So we'll see how good of a job this does. Nope, this is not what we want at all. It's supposed to use colors like this. I don't know if it'll let me copy this, but we can try. This is the Alex. I think that's how you spell it. Oh, let's stop it. There we go. This is exactly what I wanted to do. All right, so now we can have this style. So let's copy it, paste it in here. And remember, because we have the fast serve enabled, it's not gonna register that we have the pill module yet. So what we need to do is add another terminal here, and what we'll do is npm or gulp, gulp build. So we'll run this separately to build our TS file that's associated with our module SCSS file. I know that the button don't work. Why is it saying this? Let's try to build it without that. See if it does build. Oh wait. Let's just kill both terminals, add one, and we'll build it first. Am I missing something here? Pill. Import styles from pill. There we go. Maybe I did do something wrong. So let's clear the... I'm gonna build now. All right, and now we can run our fast serve. And we're gonna test what we see with our web part. So we go back to our web part, edit the page. We're not gonna see them yet because we're not using the pill yet. So let's use the pill. Let's go back to our default layout, and we have our topic selector. Go to that, and instead of using a checkbox, we'll do a pill. And so the pill, if you recall, let's put this over to the side here. The pill is going to need to have an ID. I think my dog wants attention, sorry. And this is going to be called topic.id. And it's also going to require a label. And that's going to be topic.label. I'm not label, but topic.title. Sorry, my dog's distracting me. Sorry about that. And unselected and unselected are optional. We don't have to provide those. And let's get rid of checkbox. I don't think we're gonna use checkbox anymore. Let's see what that looks like. If we refresh, and look at that. We now have our pills that are gonna be, obviously they're not yet 100% the way we want them, but well, it's a good start. We'll have our pills that we're gonna be able to select. All right, let me I'll be right back. I'm gonna be seeing what my dog needs. He seems to be wanting attention, so I'll be right back with you. Sorry about that. I'm back. Anyway, so where were we? We were building the pills. And now the next thing that we're gonna do is we're going to set our state for those. So we need to be able to show that that option is selected. All right. And so to do that, the way that we do that is we're gonna have to do a check for that item or that ID if it's inside of our array of options. So going back to our work here, we don't need this. All right, so going back to our work, we have the pill, we have our topic selector, and so now we have to have an array be set for us. And so now we have to think on how to set the array of IDs so that we can define what topics are going to be shown in our web part. So let's continue on doing that. So to do that, let's go to our Webpart .ts file here, and what we're gonna have to do is we are going to have to create something that sets our state. So we should have, similar to how we have properties for description, we should have what did we call that property down here in the pane? We called it topics array. So we should have something that says, oh yeah, it's right there already, topics array. So this topics array, but we need to have a setter for this, and that setter is going to have to it's going to set the values inside of our web part at on the side panel. So let's create a function that does that. So we're going to create a public function called set topics array, and the topics array is going to be a string, and that's not going to return anything. It's not going to it's just going to set the topics array to the array, which is a string that's going to be passed to it. And then this dot context dot property pane refresh. What this is going to do is when you update the value inside of the property pane, if you don't have this set up, that property pane is not going to show anything. So it's just going to look like a blank field. What I mean by the property pane is if we go to the edit here, you notice that this is empty. That's because we haven't written anything in there, obviously. But when we do this, when we click on them, we're needed to pass the topic ID into the topics. Okay, and so we need to also pass this into our main web part, so that we're basically taking in something from within the web part, we're porting it through to outside of the web part into the settings pane on the right hand side. All right, so to do that, we're going to create a property inside of our interface, and our set topic array is going to basically do this, and we also have to add it to our props, because I don't think that we can add it here. Let's try set topics array, and that's not how you do that. there, GitHub Copilot. So this set this topic array is going to be this dot set topics array, and it's going to give us an error because we need to also add this to our properties. So if we go to props, here we go. So inside here we need to add it as well. And so what this is going to enable us to do is now pass the string as a, and so because it's only 5, I think that we can just refresh it every time. Just keep a track of the array and just refresh it every time we add new things to it. What I mean by that is we can put them in, we can basically put the string every single time. It's not a huge string that we're talking about. We're only going to do 5 different numbers, and those 5 different numbers we can pass from our web part over to the side panel. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's work on that. So inside of our element, the FAQ web part element, here we're going to need the new things that we just created. So we now have description. We also have let's put them in order. I know you don't have to, but I'm kind of picky that way. So let's create the topics array and a set topics array. We need both of those. And so this is going to be passed into the default layout. So the default layout is going to need topics array and setting the topics array. So let's go to the default layout. Sorry. Default layout. And inside of our default layout, we need to make it require these 2 properties. And what were they? Topics array and set topics array. We're passing that down to the default layout. Default layout likes it. And so now default layout, we're going to need that inside of our topic selector here. So let's go to our topic selector, ask for it to get the same things. And so our topic selector is also going to need topics array. Oh, wait. We need display mode, topics array, and set topics array. We're gonna pass these. This prop drilling, I know it's kind of annoying, but just given the way that the web parts work, I think this is really gonna. There is another way. We could technically use the Zustan store, but if we use the Zustan store, we can try it as a test. Probably not today, but we could probably try that. You'll probably try that tomorrow, see how that works out. I think I've tried it in the past. Since it's a global state, I try to even do something like React had this thing called gosh, what was that option? React had a way that you could actually create a global state. The name of it escapes me right now. But there was a way that you could create a state that worked globally that didn't require an external library, but it was too heavy of a way of doing that. And so a lot of the times what I would do, or what I saw others do, is use things like Zustan. But anyway, so now that we have our topics array and our set topics array, we need a way to, inside of our the pills inside our default layout, inside of our topic selector, we need to find out if, if it is selected or not, because the next thing that we have to find out is if it is selected. And so is selected is going to check if topics array, we have to make sure we pass what we have here. I always forget that. Topics array and set topics array. We have to check if topics array, I think it's includes topic.id. I think that's what it is. Let me double check. So for is selected is going to be a Boolean. Because it's not gonna like this. So what would be a good way of determining whether this array of string, I think I know what I did wrong. Because remember, we have to be able to convert the array of IDs to an array of numbers, but when we pass it, we need to convert it to an array of string of numbers. So let's do that. So in default layout, instead of it receiving topics array as a string, let's call it an array of numbers. Yeah, let's do it that way. And then for the topic selector, we're gonna also do the same thing, number array. And then for the web part, it's not gonna like it. So topics array, how do we convert it? Oh, we looked that up last time. I think it was convert string array of numbers to number JavaScript. Dude, I think we saw this last time. Number. So we use map number. Yeah, so it would be, yeah, so it's topics array. Oh, sorry. Topics array dot map. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Oh, because it's just a string. Convert a string string with comma delimited numbers so we have something like this. No, that's not what we're looking for. Convert string with comma delimited numbers to number in JavaScript. No decimals. To array. We're converting it to an array of number. So we have this, and we want to convert it to this. So we're gonna take that and we're gonna split it. So we just basically copy this. And we can get rid of this comment. So we're gonna take the topics array, we're gonna split it at the comma, we're gonna use the map method, and then we're gonna take the string and trim it. So now we should have the ability inside of our pill to check if it is in our topic selector. We can check if it has a topic ID, and then on click we're gonna have to use the set topics array that's gonna take the string of topics that's gonna receive the string of topics. So that's gonna be a little bit tricky. So let's call this const handle handle select topic, and it's gonna take an ID which is gonna be of number, and it doesn't return anything, so that's why it does a void. And so when this is selected, this is interesting, because we're gonna have to handle because we have to have the ability to add them and also remove them, meaning we're going to add the numbers to the array, and then we're also going to remove the numbers from the array. And so we're going to take existing topics array and add the new ID. If it is not present, oh, that's perfect. If it is present, then we remove it. Convert back to comma separated string and set it using yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this handle select topic to create an array of numbers. If the topic array includes the current ID, then we're gonna remove it. If it's not, we're gonna take the existing topic array and we're gonna add the new ID. Then we're gonna use our set topic array so that we can basically update the site panel. All right, so handle select topic, we're going to use it as on select. So handle select topic, we'll put here on select is going to be the handle select topic, and all is happy. Go back to our web part. This should be very interesting. We have a problem. What's the issue here? I was already getting happy thinking that, because it's split, it's obviously topics array doesn't exist yet, so topics array could technically be undefined. So let's go back to our FAQ web part section for the props. And so topics array could be a string, and it could also be undefined. And now this should help us fix the, see, now we can If it's undefined, uh, if it's undefined, we have the topics array is possibly undefined. So if topics array is there, then we're going to do topics array. Otherwise, where is this end? Right here. We're gonna just pass it an empty array. How about that? Cannot read properties and oh, we have that issue again. Hold on. It should be just a fluke because let's go to republish. Okay, we're good. I think that was just a fluke. There's no reason we should have gotten an error. I think it was just a fluke from the refresh. But anyway, let's look and see. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. If we click on general or we click on SPFx, nothing's happening. So let's go troubleshoot. What's supposed to be happening is when we click on that, we should be able to see the topics update here. So obviously that's not happening. Let's find out why. Let's put this on the bottom. And let's go to sources. And what are we gonna look at? We're gonna look at the handle. Let's go look at the handle select. Yeah, let's go look at the handle select. But let me check one more thing on the because I honestly think that what did I do? What did I change? I didn't change anything. All right, so it's not refreshing, so obviously I didn't change anything. Let's start by looking at our topic selector and look at that handle select topic. Topic selector. Yeah, here we go. And let's look at what's going on with our handle selector. So when we click on it, it's not even being called. See that? It's not even doing anything. So there's an issue with the pill. Oh, there isn't it's not even clicked. So we have to have a non-click obviously on here. We're gonna use on select from our properties here. On select. No, let's not do that. What is this thing doing? I don't think that's the way. We just do this. Why is on? Oh, because I'm making it optional. Let's not make these optional anymore. Yeah, there we go. Fingers crossed that this works. And now we have that callback. However, I don't see that being updated at all. Wait. Let's just, this is not a good way of doing that. I don't like that. Let's fix that. So in topic selector, this one, const, the string, and then use this string in here instead. That way it even makes it easier to troubleshoot to see what could the problem be. So we go next. So we should have ID 1. It's not doing any, it's not putting this in here, so the issue is probably in our FAQ Webpart ES file, this one right here. So more than likely this set topic array is not even running. Let's go find out if it is. FAQ Webpart TS. This file right here, and let's go see if our Webpart is doing what it's supposed to. Where's our setter for our topic? Here we go. All right, we go there, continue. Ah, it is getting to here. It's an error. So there's an error happening. Properties topic array. I think I saw this before, because I think that we have to, let me try this. Let's create a constructor. Yeah, let's create a constructor, and inside of our constructor, we'll bind set topics array and see what this, if this fixes the issue. Let's create, yep. But I don't like that. It's supposed to stay selected. It's just supposed to append it. But progress is progress, right? Progress is progress. I'm happy that we at least have something there. So we're seeing changes. So it was definitely, we needed to create a constructor that binds the setter to the actual setter that's inside of our web part here. I think we can even make this private, but I could be wrong. Let's see if that still works. This is interesting. So it's got 1 and 2, 1 and 3. That's weird. Let's try it again. So we have 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we have an issue here where let me look at the handle select. We have to look at the handle select. The handle select is what's causing our issues. So on our handle select, clearly we have a problem where on handle select, this is selected is not being processed correctly. And this was inside of our topic selector. What we're doing is we're going to the topics array. I think that the reason that it's not finding it is because I think that we need to, I really think that we need to build this as an array instead of passing just numbers, like actually make it an array. So instead of converting it with this, we should take the topic array and make it into because I'm curious. I think that what the problem that I think what's happening is that the handle select topic is not refreshing the state. And there's one good way to check this out. So if I go to inspect and let's install React developer tools. All right, so now we have our developer tools. We should be able to reopen our settings here. Please don't tell me I have to restart this. Really? Let me refresh it. Maybe that's why. Yes, that's why. Yay. I don't have to restart the whole browser. All right, so you notice that it shows it because it's technically in here. And the problem, I guarantee you, is that when we go to our elements and we inspect it, so if we go to our topic selector, these are our topics and this is our topic array. But when we click on it, the topic array, even though it technically has the two there, the topic array is not refreshing. So we need to refresh that topic array. And so the way to do that is I think we need to add a local state here that's going to be on local topic array. And when it starts, it's going to have the topics array, like when it loads, right? But then we want to set this local topic array. Instead of using the topic array, we're going to use this. Might be helpful to do it this way. All right, so local topics array. And so we're gonna do set local topics array to the new topic array. Fingers crossed. I don't know that this is gonna work. We can test it. Oh, look at that. Close this toolbox, open the side panel. Would you look at that? Oh, we have a bug. I know what this is. The reason we have this bug is because whenever we click on I think those are just flukes. So if we go to the view, remove it. It's still keeping 3. Why? I think that these two states are not staying in sync. But that's definitely the issue. The issue is that our state is not it's not staying. It's not there's a delay. Like see, even though I've removed 2, I removed 1, I removed 2, but 1 comes back. So we have to figure out, what we're doing wrong here. If I had to guess, there's gotta be a better way of doing this. Um, let's get a little help from our GitHub Copilot here. And let's use Claude. Can you help me fix the state issue with the selector in the pill? Issue I am having is when I click a selector, the state seems to be one iteration behind. The objective is to select pill and be able to have that reflect in the side panel. Oh, wait. What I figured, the local state. I did this though. I mean, I'll try it, but I did this initially. Let's apply to the topic selector. And let's see if that fixes it. But I thought I had done that. Yeah, that didn't fix it. That's exactly what I had before. Oh man, this thing taking our jobs is, I don't know when that's gonna happen. But yeah, this is not the way. Let's undo what it just did. This is not good. We could try to do this, but I'm not a big fan of it. I think what I'm gonna do is, I think what we should have is, yeah, it's not working. I think what I'm gonna do, but we'll do this tomorrow. I think what we're gonna do is we'll have a setup. I'm gonna set it up a little bit different. I think I need to create a way for the local Webpart to have a synchronized state, because obviously we have the state that's running, that's storing in the values inside of the side panel, but it's not reflecting the state changes on the Webpart itself. So I'm gonna probably do a little bit of research. Or you know what? Maybe better yet, we can do a little research during our conversation tomorrow, and we can try to fix the issue. Again, we've made great progress so far. The ultimate goal is to get to where we can have the web part show different topics and the user be able to select the topics and then show the questions below. Also probably have this expanded option so that way they only see two and kind of fade out. I think that's an awesome look and feel. We're gonna probably expand a lot of different features to this. I know it's supposed to be just a simple FAQ web part, but I think we can make this thing really shine. But stick around, keep on coming back. I stream every day from 9:30 to 11:30 Central Standard Time, or usually try to start around 9:30 and go as long as I possibly can. Tonight obviously I had some technical difficulties. My puppy is not having the greatest of nights, so I have to go attend to that. But thank you for coding with me. I really appreciate you joining me, and hopefully we can continue working on this web part and really make this web part look cool. But I'll see everyone tomorrow. Thank you.